Stop mansplaining to me. I'm not really sure what mansplaining is either. This is really geeky stuff, so I've definitely never mentioned this one publicly. My brain's like, it's like I was away at the back of my head somewhere thinking about something else, and then it was all of a sudden like I'd been caught out. I was like, my brain rushed back to the front to go, Cammy, she knows you're not watching. I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we are both
Fed by Farmers. I think we should do like outtakes, but like do like a wee funny reel of outtakes.
No. That was Ashley, our editor behind the camera, saying no extra work. She's done a lambing vlog every single day this month so far.
That's huge. What are you giving her?
Another 12 months of employment, I think. Minimum.
She deserves it.
I did learn today that I'm getting £600 back on my tax.
Class. And it only costs 150 quid to fix her car, so she's 450 quid up the day.
Oh, talking about cars, my
Cars Billington.
So
check out Car. That is slick, Iona. If you want to see the full Fed by Farmers range, drop into your local Cars Billington. I feel like we've started this podcast. I haven't even done the start.
All right, do you want to start? Are we?
We're kind of start today. Hello and welcome to the Fed by Farmers podcast with me, Cammy Wilson.
And me, Iona Murray.
Iona, we were going to do the intro to John Andrews' podcast, but this is now just, let's just have a chat in this one, eh?
Right, okay, but I've got things to do, so keep it short.
Right, okay, that's fine. Story of my life. What about cars?
Oh, well, I mean, now it's too boring for the podcast, but I'll just tell you anyway.
Well, we've been recording that whole time.
Yeah, okay, I'll just say.
Nothing's too, do you know the thing? Like, nothing's too boring for the podcast. Because what I've come to realise is, especially when you're lambing, there's not enough podcasts in the world.
Yeah, you've
Good
got so
podcasts.
much time.
Yeah, like I can listen to all the podcasts I like virtually by lunchtime on Monday morning. And they've got the rest of the week to like, what are you going to listen to?
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, like we should just come on here and talk nonsense all the time.
Just on listen to podcasts, do you ever wear earbuds?
No.
Always headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
But let's talk about it. Because folk question it, why you wearing those big things, etc., etc. The reason I wear headphones, and you can tell me why you wear headphones, but the reason so by headphones I mean they're JBL, I think the brand I've got because they were cheap. But
they're like don't go right in your ear holes. What are they called?
I think you call them over ear.
No, but what are the bits in your ear called where you put earphones?
Your ear hole.
Is it your ear hole? I feel like it would have a more sophisticated
I think maybe
name
that's just
than
your
that.
ear. Wouldn't you? You'd just say it's in your ear. You wouldn't say it's in your ear hole.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
Just inside your ear.
Yeah.
My sister's an audiologist. She would know.
An audiologist? Mm-hmm. What does that do? Because you not come and help set up the mics.
What?
What's the hell's an audiologist?
Why would you do mics? No audiologist like, you're thinking for audio.
Silly me. Silly. What, I feel so foolish. Silly me, sorry.
No.
I don't know what got me there.
So an audiologist she does like hearing aids, testing people's hearing.
Oh, that's like the most boring form of audio.
But there are interesting areas that within it, like now there's like cochlear implants, and it's basically like, go on.
I'm so childish.
You are.
I'm so childish.
And basically it's like the people who haven't heard their whole lives, and then they can get these cochlear implants, and then they can hear.
Aye, no, that is nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why did we
You're
end
talking
up
about
there?
your car, I think.
My car. So
God knows how we got there. I can't even remember how we got there.
so my car was making a funny noise. So
audio noise. Yeah, tedious link. I like it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So took it into the garage, and the mechanic said the wheel bearing was away. Blah blah blah. So that was fine. Got that fixed.
Did he do this? Oh, love. Oh, that's a wheel bearing. Then do you kick another wheel and go, ho, 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 I think there's two.
Do you know, I'm very lucky. It's the garage in Muirkirk.
Okay.
So Dad, we know him really well, so I always know I'm not getting a doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was all fine. And then when I was in, he said, you've still not got those cracks in your windscreen sorted. and I'm sure your MOT will be due soon, and it won't pass with that. But he's like, it's fine. It doesn't affect your no claims. You can go through the insurance. So I was like, right, that's fine. Went on, checked. MOT had run out. So straight onto the insurance to get the somebody out to fix the windscreen. And because I used the term crack instead of chip, they then had to go to the insurers, and they said the insurance don't cover cracks. They only cover chips. So now I'm in this back and forth of it is a
No, I'm still here. I'm sorry, I did that. I nearly lost me. You did nearly lose me there. You did. I all of a sudden realised you'd caught me out there because I'd switched off. My brain's like, it's like I was away at the back of my head somewhere thinking about something else, and then it was all of a sudden like I'd been caught out. I was like, my brain rushed back to the front to go, Cammy, she knows you're not watching. Did you see that? I just
looking right through me.
I just all of a sudden got. Honestly, it was like I'd been caught doing something wrong. My brain just went, quick, come back. It was a really good story. No, it was.
You know, when I first started laughing, I was laughing at myself for telling that story. And then you just confirmed to me that it was too boring for the podcast.
No.
And I should have gone with my gut on that one.
No, it's actually not. It's worked out great. It's a real laugh. No, but we better finish it now. So, what is if we do long story boring?
So, we're still, insurance have said they will not cover it. So I'm going to have to pay for a new windscreen and then put my car through its MOT. And let's be honest, my car's nearing the end of its life anyway.
How much is a windscreen? No, it's only like 150 quid or something, isn't it?
No, because my excess for it was going to be 120.
But how much is a windscreen?
I don't know.
Ashley, how much is a windscreen?
And I've just spent almost £400 on my wheel bearing. And then I'm going to have to put it through its MOT.
400 quid for a wheel bearing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And you should say what kind of car you drive, because folk might think it's like a Bentley when it's that kind of money. What kind of...
A Nissan Duke.
A Nissan Duke?
Go on.
No, I think they're nice wee motors.
So do I.
Yeah, I like Duke because it's quite a Scottish word.
Mm-hmm.
To duke a boot.
Dad says it suits me.
Duking a boot.
Because I'm like a duker. Mm-hmm.
Would people not in Scotland say Duke?
Duke.
Well, I thought it was weird that it's called a Nissan Duke, because to me, it's called a Nissan Duke because it's like a smaller, kind of, not a 4x4, but it's like a kind of crossover. Yeah, but it's like an
in-between, yeah.
Yeah, and it's good for duking a boot. But you'd never think that the Japanese would use the term duke a boot.
Is Nissan... No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't. You would never have pegged them.
It is Nissan's Japan?
I believe so, yeah.
Right.
I have a Nissan, so I should... Well, not that I should know. You don't have to know. It's not like a wee test. It's like, oh, you want to drive a Nissan, do you? No.
To get a whole new windscreen, it's about £200, but the cost of repairing is also £200.
So there you go, £400.
We better thank our sponsors as well. I'm so tired, guys. I'm going to stutter my words a little bit here. Today, Junior. Thanks so much to Crystalyx and
Animax Tracesure.
Tracesure. I see more and more people now are tagging us with. Have you seen this? They're scoring out the sure and putting your. Yeah, whatever works. Tracesure, bolus from Animax.
Get ready for a successful turnout and choose Crystalyx this grazing season. Spring grass is typically fast-growing and lush. However, it can contain high levels of potassium, which reduces magnesium availability. Crystalyx Cattle Hi-Mag incorporates multiple magnesium sources and is proven through trials at Glasgow University to help maintain normal blood magnesium levels. With 35% sugar and a unique blend of vitamins, minerals and trace elements, Crystalyx Cattle Hi-Mag supports optimal performance at turnout.
This is just our weekly Friday chat. Last week's went down quite well.
Yeah.
We didn't even really answer any questions. We just chatted about lambing and what was happening.
What's been going on?
Yeah.
How are you? You are. I do seem very tired today.
Yeah. Do you know what the problem we're in now is? The lambing's got much easier, but the days are so much longer.
Yeah. So yeah.
So
okay.
it's amazing difference even just a week and 10 or 10 days makes. The last time we spoke, you were starting maybe just before 6 and finishing the back of 8, whereas now you can get started at 5 and it's light till almost 9:30.
Yeah.
So it's hard to justify going home or stopping when it's still daylight outside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or the guilt that you're not.
Guilt is one thing, but it's like, why are you in the house if it's you're lambing? Why are you in the house? Why are you finished for the night if it's still daylight? That's my thinking. It's like I could go round the house again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
So that's it. But what I think probably next year, what I should do better is have I think really because it's lack of sleep's a big factor. Is have a day shift and a back shift.
Okay.
Just say to somebody like, I'll do 5 till 4 or 5 to 5 is an easy number if they come out and do 2 till 9.
Yeah.
Or 12 to 9 if they're wanting 9 out.
Cammy.
And you have a nice wee crossover. So in the middle of the day, there's plenty of folk there to get jobs done, tidy out pens, do all the stuff you need to do, get sheep out.
Yep.
And then once it calms down, you can go away,
100%.
get your dinner, get your bed.
And you're saying, okay, till 5. Yeah, you won't. You'll stay out longer, but you will still at least be home in bed by 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're,
Exactly. Whereas, it's just a bit silly this year. But I do enjoy it. Like seeing the weather's good like it is now. Like I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just the feeling of getting hit by a bus every morning when the alarm goes off. That's a hard bit, you know.
What kind of alarm do you have?
I have the standard iPhone one that everybody has trauma about. It gives you real trauma, that. Like, see if I hear it not in when I'm expecting to hear it.
Oh,
makes me feel a bit sick inside.
So I've got my iPhone set up so it does it goes on sleep wake. And then in the morning, it just gradually, it's like the nicest alarm. It starts really quiet and then just like builds up.
Back when I was single, I got a Lumi. I think it's called a Lumi.
One of them, Lumi light.
And it starts, so for anyone that maybe lives themselves or both of you are getting up at the same time, it works great because it's essentially this light. I think it was like 130 quid.
Yeah, they're expensive.
And it starts lighting the room 30 minutes before you're meant to wake up. And I had it set to do birdsong. So the bird song would get louder and louder and the room would get lighter and it was meant to naturally wake you and it's brilliant.
Oh, it's so good. See in the winter, it's brilliant.
But it's not practical when your partner's like pregnant and although my alarm's so loud it wakes her anyway.
Yeah,
so it's actually a bit daft. Yeah, it'd actually be better doing the light thing and then just at least she's not shocked up as well. But it's weird because I think what's worse and what I'm feeling at worse is this is the only time of year where I actually really use the alarm. Like I always use the alarm.
But actually, you're awake before it.
But I always wake before it. Whereas this year, you're having such a short sleep, your body is just like, no, mate, we'll wait for the alarm.
Yeah.
And then when the alarm goes, it's like, oh, and then you go again. But it is, once you get yourself thrown out the door, it's a beautiful feeling, see when the weather's like this.
I know, it's such a
And
difference.
nobody's about, 5 a.m.
It's so nice.
Nobody's about, especially, we're recording this on a Monday. Sunday morning's the best because there's nobody about at all. I mean, it is absolute, like The Walking Dead. There's nobody there, and it is quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
When the sun's coming up nice. How's your dad getting on with his lambing?
Yeah, good. He's past the worst of it, and enjoying the weather.
Yeah. Oh, it's what?
But he said that it's even like that when the weather's been really bad and things. He says he enjoys the challenge. He's like, it's been hard, but it's still enjoyable.
Yeah. It's funny how time heals all wounds. Like in the midst of it, I was like, this is hellish. This is absolutely terrible. Hating life and not hating life, but like just like constantly worrying about lambs freezing to death and all the problems with the rain. But a week on, I'm like, that's the best job in the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Else.
Aye. Oh, like it's mad. There's people that actually work for a living.
I know, me.
Yeah, you a prime example. I only did about 8 hours last week or something absolutely bloody crazy. Absolute madness. Whereas I just thought about looking at using lambs now, especially now.
Yeah, I know this is the nice bit for you.
And these sheep are more suited to lambing outdoors.
Okay,
the mules, too many lambs.
Okay.
If the weather had been fine, no bother. But a combination of things, the Scottish mules and the Cheviot mules, that we lamb, we have about 600 nearly finished. We had 100 triplets. Far too many. And then the singles are far too big as well. So we're having to lamb almost every single now. Well, every gimmer that's having a single, I should say.
And
a gimmer's a 2-year-old sheep, sorry, so it's our first time lambing. And in hindsight, next year we'll put the gimmer to a smaller tup.
Yep.
And we are phasing out the mules now. That's us. Like we will phase them out over the next 5 years or whatever. They'll run their course and we'll move more towards... anyone that watches the sheep game, I went and bought Clin type yows. I think they're maybe Clin crossed with like an Abermax or something like that. An Innovis type sheep.
See, sorry to ask this question. What is an Innovis? What does that mean?
So Innovis is a company that...
Yeah, so that's the only Innovis I know. And then, but how's that a type... Like Innovis would do like the AI and stuff?
No, they do that. Yeah, they do a lot of that as well. Yeah, but Innovis also have... I suppose they're best known for selling RAMs. They sell females as well, but selling RAMs, performance recorded RAMs.
Okay.
So like an AberMax would be like one of their terminal sires. So that would be you'd essentially replace like a Texel or something with an AberMax.
Okay.
And or the various other breeds. So it's kind of unusual to have a terminal sire mixed in with a Clin. It's an unusual type of sheep. I mean, she's an absolute beast. She's a solid sheep. Like when the Doug gets a hold of her, she just takes him for a ride. Like, does 3 laps of the field before she tires out. Doug's just hanging on absolutely limp by the time we get her caught. But they're just lambing away a doddle.
That's
like
good.
There's lambs. So we paid 100 and what did the average again? 100. Oh, my brain's not working great now. But I think anyone who watched the sheep game will know. But I think we averaged £184
Okay.
per head. Or we bought 184 of them, maybe. Yeah, that was it. We bought 184 and they averaged 184. That was the random thing. And they're lambing away great. I wish I bought more.
Really?
Oh, I wish I could go back and buy 500 of them.
Well.
Yeah, especially when today I was selling ewes. I had 2 yell ewes, which is a sheep that was never in lamb. 2 yell ewes and 4 ewes that hadn't reared lambs. So we're doing well so far. We've only had 5 ewes. It's 6 ewes that haven't reared lambs at all for various reasons. Mm-hmm. One's like kebbed, like kind of aborted and no milk, and there's 2 like that, and various other issues with them. Mm-hmm. We've just put them out without lambs, and they average like 130 quid.
Wow!
So it's like for an empty ewe. So and ewes with lambs at foot are selling for like £130 a life.
My God!
And for anyone that doesn't know how that works, so a ewe with lamb at foot, when they're sold at market, the price they're sold for is per life. So if it's a ewe with twins, it's £130 and it's a ewe with twins, that's 3 times. There's 3 lives there, so it's 3 times 130, so it's 390 for that unit. Right. So it's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely crazy. So yeah, no, I wish I'd bought more of them, but easy to say that now the weather's good and they're lambing easy. Yeah, hindsight's a great thing. But the Cheviots have started as well, they're going okay, although their problems will come with them at some point, I'm sure. But I think one big factor is we ran them a lot harder.
In what way?
In the winter, like we kept them quite bare.
Okay.
We put bales out to them. No feed, nothing apart from the triplets, nothing concentrate feed this year. But we've saved a fortune outdoor lambing.
In what way?
Oh, less staff needed. Mm-hmm. Last year we used about 5 tubs of colostrum because we're like tubing all the triplets.
Oh, really?
Whereas this year we've only used 1 tub of colostrum.
Right.
No straw. Well, a few small bales that we bought. We've got 20 small bales. No straw to bed a shed. And in that wet weather, like the rain blowing in all the time, you're in bed in the shed nearly every day. No big bales of hay to buy. Like I have to buy everything because we don't make anything or have anything. So straw's an absolute fortune this year. A lot less joint ill and problems on that front. Even things as simple as iodine. Iodine's £100 a bottle.
Oh my God, is it?
Yeah, but it could be more. I think it was £100 last year. I didn't even look at the price this year because I haven't used any. Anything we've need to do is just a wee bit of antibiotic spray.
Yeah.
Blue sprayed it, but the savings like this in diesel. Like last year I was £4,000 in diesel for the pickups for Lizzie and I. Because we're running to a shed and then we're lambing sheep outside as well. Oh my God. And then we're hauling everything out the shed back to grass like 10 mile away. So obviously you have to hold the trailer both ways. Mental £4,000 last year. And that's why I said this is just mental. Like, and it's the time. I spent half my lambing sitting in the pickup.
Yeah.
Whereas this year all the meals were together. You know, they're at 2 farms next to each other. So it was
perfect.
It was great. I just sat in the buggy all day. And we burned a bit of fuel in that, and I dare say I think it worked out at about £100 every 3 days. So it's £30 a day. So you're £1,000 for petrol. It's pretty good compared to £4,000. Yeah. And you're at it all. And in fairness, the fuel is absolutely worse than it would be because of the weather.
Yeah.
Like the bike was into the guts all the time, low box, high revs, dragging itself around the fields. You know, now it's dry, you're in the high box, 2-wheel drive.
Fine.
Scoots around, hardly burns any fuel, whereas it was in the guts.
Yeah.
You know, that's another factor, like, you know, so it was sore on the fuel. And you had to go around them constantly. You know, as soon as you finished the round, you started again immediately, because if something was born on the ground and it's pissing a rain, You had to get there quick. Whereas now we're just, it's a doddle.
Game.
It is an easy game now. Yeah, listen, we're just chatting. It is very loose. Don't anyone get too upset. I like to give a wee shout out, actually.
Go on.
I sent you a TikTok through the week.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to get the name wrong, but she'll hear this because I think she listens to us
Why
every
don't
week.
you look it up?
Because my phone is recording.
Oh, I've got...
Henry heard that big dunt. That was Iona.
Sorry.
Wee Josie is a shout out.
Oh, you've got it.
Well, I don't know the spelling of it, but _Josie, Josie, on TikTok. She's a Scottish lass that does... she caught my eye because she was in a sheep game jumper.
Yeah.
When I was scrolling through it. But then she does really clever voiceovers. Quite fun, like voiceovers, just her day-to-day jobs on the farm. And she was wearing the sheep game jumper, and then she said that she was listening to the Fed by Farmers podcast, and she said that like she would just be randomly in the shed, like working, and then she just burst out laughing. And I thought that was so great. Like
Yeah, it's
that makes me so chuffed. And I can't even imagine when they hear you talking about like that bit about talking about a windscreen, and I just switched right off. Like that was one of the, even I, oh god, I was laughing hard there. But yeah, no, so we're through. Well, hopefully you guys are getting. I think everyone's enjoying lambing again now.
Yeah.
I think the weather makes all the difference. I'm apart from real tiredness and good spirits.
Most foragers don't supply sheep and cattle with enough cobalt, copper, iodine and selenium, critical to digestion, immunity, reproduction and growth. When it comes to supplementation, there's a danger of under or oversupply. But when bolusing with Animax Tracesure, you can be sure every animal has enough for up to 6 months in one single application. Animax, giving what it takes.
Anything else?
Yeah. I think you need to sleep.
Yeah, but we'll get there. I actually had a nap up the stairs while I was waiting on Iona. Iona was trying to catch the last of the post, and she's like, "Oh, I'll be 30 minutes." And I'm like, "Well, I'll know what I'll do for 30 minutes." So I lay on the plywood floor in a bit of bubble wrap and had a snooze there. So we're just coming back round.
I want to ask how Lizzie is.
She's good. Bit cantankerous at times, but she's great. You talk about the pregnancy? Sorry, the pregnancy, yes. She's
sorry, just back to cantankerous. I don't know if I've ever heard that word, but it sounds like a word I would like.
Your dad will be listening to this podcast going, 30 grand a year, blown, blown on school fees. Private school, you don't know what cantankerous means. It's quite a good word. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
So it means, I think it can be aggressive.
Right, okay.
Yeah, can be aggressive. So not always aggressive, but can be...
At times.
At times. I first... So this is really geeky stuff. So I've definitely never mentioned this one publicly. So I used to read loads and loads of books.
Okay.
Like at school and all that. Like I've got loads of books at home. I've read loads and loads of stuff.
What do you prefer, fact or fiction?
I like... I'm not sure what the correct term for it is now. I like fiction about fact.
Oh.
So I like sort of all sorts of random. So I like books about Genghis Khan, but I talk about him regular. But
okay, so they're based on something true.
Yes.
A true event, but it is fiction.
But it's
fictional.
Fiction.
Okay,
yeah. Because nobody could actually know what he said to people or what was actually done. It's like they base it on they look at the history, they look at the battles, kind of like Braveheart, but Braveheart's way inaccurate. But more like I like books where they take the facts and then make a fictional story out of it.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a really, really good book called, we do these book recommendations now and again. Now we're turning into the rest of politics. The Needle, I think it's called. It's about you need to Google it. I can't just remember if it's called The Needle, but it's about a German spy living in the UK during the war. Okay. Great book.
Right, okay.
Amazing book. Really, really interesting. Just about how he would communicate stuff back to Germany and just...
Interesting.
Yeah, but you learn a lot along the way, even stuff like how they took down all the road signs during, I think this was during the Blitz now, I've a while since I read this book, but they took down all the road signs so that if there was any spies or any non-natives, they wouldn't be able to get anywhere. They wouldn't know how to, whereas the locals knew where everywhere was.
Yeah, of course, they don't need the signs.
Yeah, and during the war, people wouldn't be travelling far anyway. So they were taking down like the road signs and town names and everything. So that people see just interesting things like that. You learn just through reading a fictional book. Maybe that is fiction too, but I should really question it. But randomly, a long way about coming around cantankerous. And my wee geeky thing used to be, if I didn't know a word, I would have a dictionary and I would look it up. So I'd fold the page.
Yeah.
and then I'd come back to it later, and then I'd fold,
look
and
it up.
and then I'd look up the word. So randomly, I was reading a story, and someone described a horse as being cantankerous.
Right, okay.
Like someone said, yeah, she's a great beast, but she can be a bit cantankerous.
Okay.
And usually in the context of the sentence, you can work out what a word means. Yeah, so you go like, well, that's a new word, and it obviously must mean this. But that one I was like, cantankerous, what does that mean? So like, just couldn't get it at all. So looked up the dictionary and I thought that is a belter of a word.
Interesting. That's a great word.
Yeah, and a great way to describe a horse, because like sometimes it can be great and then it'll give you a wee nip.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah, so they were, and quite like some ladies, a lot of the time, quite like Lizzie. Most of the time she's great. Every now and again you'll get a wee nip. And it'll just put you back in your
You
place.
need that though.
Oh, I love that fire. I love that fire. So yeah, that was my roundabout way of saying how much of a geek I used to be.
And do you not really read anymore?
Audiobooks.
Okay.
Class.
How do you find that?
That's what
over
feels,
reading a book?
Yeah, well, it's just I just would never read a book now.
Because when you go to bed, you're going to sleep, and that's the
just
only
no
time. That's the only time you would read a book.
Even I reply to YouTube comments and do about an hour doing messages and stuff at night. It's like bed, but like the audiobook, that's what fills in my week because there's not enough podcasts.
Right. Okay.
So I'll do my podcasts as they come out. I've probably 5 or 6 that I really like, and then I go into my audiobooks.
Right. Are you listening to one at the moment?
Yes, but I'm not going to recommend it because I'm listening. I'm going to finish it, but I'm not. So Rory Stewart, who is on The Rest Is Politics, he's so. Him and Alistair Campbell, they're like, I like listening to it, but I'm not that sure I actually like either of them.
Okay.
But his first book was really interesting. It was Politics on the Edge. That's not his first book. His most recent book, I should say, was Politics on the Edge.
Okay.
It was quite interesting hearing, because he was quite open about how like Michael Gove did his legs and all that, and what a like dirty player he is and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's just interesting to see a bit more into the politics of all. And it was good because his constituency was Penrith and the borders or around that area. And there was a lot of farming community. So he talked a bit about farming, and like he walked around all the farms in his constituency, and because he spent like 5 years walking around Iraq and Afghanistan, all these crazy. He's done. He's lived a life. Wow. He's absolutely lived a life. That's why he's an interesting guy. But I'm listening to his previous book to that one. I don't even know the name. It's that long since I started it. I don't even know his name. But I'm nearly at the end. But it's pretty.
That's interesting that it's the first book that's not as good, because you think that would have all the juicy stuff in it, and then it would be the follow-up that wasn't as good.
Yeah, but it's different story. The reason the Politics on the Edge is so juicy is because it's about his election, his leadership battle with Boris Johnson.
Sorry, I was thinking it was more like just biography sort of thing, just like
it's about a biography about events in his life, but the biggest event in his life, not the biggest event in his life, but the most high-profile event in his life was when he went head-to-head with Boris Johnson for the leadership of the Tories.
Right, okay.
Before Boris got it and became Prime Minister.
Yeah.
So that's what catapulted Rory Stewart to the limelight, essentially, to fame. And it's about that story and about the backstabbing and the story of how Boris became Prime Minister. So it's interesting. Like I find the whole thing laughable, how ridiculous politics is, isn't it? But for some reason I find myself listening to it. Yeah. But yeah, do you read books?
Yeah, I've been so bad recently for reading. I've just not got into it. Last year I read loads, but no, not recently. But me and Rachel, my flatmate, made a promise that we're going to read. She's doing this challenge thing. She started this new group gym, but they get like 2 challenges a week. So one of them is to read 3 pages a day, because it's more about just starting the habit, because obviously nobody just reads 3 pages, but at least you're getting the book out and you're starting to read. I've just got into a really bad habit again of like going on TikTok when I'm going to bed, and I was completely out of that. I had so I'm going to try and get back into reading.
Yeah. No, TikTok is a bad one. But yeah, okay. Have you got any book recommendations before we move on?
The Nightingale was a really good one that I read.
Is that about a wee bird?
No. It's actually, it was during wartime, and it was about a spy, and she was called the Nightingale. So it's a very good one.
Similar books, you've intrigued me. There you go.
To be fair, that's out of character for me to read a book like that, but I did really enjoy it.
What are you usually into? Love rom-coms? No, not rom. You don't get rom-com books, romantic books.
No, I would say you would get rom-com books.
Would you?
Yeah, okay. Like they're funny, but also there's a love story in there.
A rom-com is. Stop mansplaining to me. I'm not really sure what mansplaining is either.
Are you not?
It's a man explaining something to a woman that he thinks she should know, that she should not know.
No, that she will know. But
She will know, but he thinks she wouldn't know.
thinks she wouldn't know.
'Cause she's a
He'll
woman.
assume, yeah.
Ah, right, okay, so...
How is Lizzie?
Oh, great. Aye, I'm on 4 weeks to go.
Oh my gosh.
Can't wait.
Can you not?
No. Well, my staff member doing it now, you know, like, she's still doing more than she should be, but, like, Lizzie at 100% is, like,
Yeah.
great. It's, like, yeah,
You at 200?
basically. It actually basically is. So, yeah, it's been a sore not having her, but we'll have her back next year. It'll be all good. But listen, that's 30-odd minutes of absolute nonsense
My goodness.
that I've spoke there. I can't believe folk watch this stuff.
I genuinely can't. That's funny. Somebody messaged me the other day about the podcast, and I was like, it blows my mind that people are listening to
I
it.
think we got like 8,000, 7,000 views on the last one.
I just can't. Like, for me, I just can't. I cannot get my head around it.
That's 8,000 views on YouTube, and then it's so many listens on audio. So that's just the YouTube, then it's audio too. So it must have done about 12,000 total downloads or something.
That scares me. No, I don't like hearing that. That will make me go weird.
Wait, you don't like all the creeps that are watching you right now?
No, I like
On
the
YouTube?
creeps, just everybody else. No, it's just the thought that people are actually listening. That freaks me out when I actually think about it.
Right, okay. Right, calm down.
Lambing chat got 9,000 views.
9,000. It was more interesting because we're talking about lambing
Yeah, that's true.
instead of nightingales
What do
and
people think
windscreens.
about windscreens?
Let us know in the comment what you think about windscreens, and if you have a windscreen tip for Iona. That's us. Let's wrap this one up. There's jobs to do. I've been Cammy,
I've been Iona.
and we're both
Fed by farmers.